Dave and Lucy have been in business for a long time. They have a great business and a great team. After years of hard work, they wanted to increase their property portfolio with their dream home. But being self-employed, they found their bank's lending criteria very restrictive. They saw Toowoomba's Edge Lending, the business lending experts. Edge Lending thinks outside the box and were able to secure a facility for Dave and Lucy to purchase the property. Edge Lending, making business lending easier.
Hey everyone, Scott from Edge Specialist Advice Network. I hope you're all well. Hey, today we're having another little installment of What the Numbers Say from, again, a report from Voronoi, Visual Capitalist. And these guys are really good. You can go and get them to email you those reports every week. It's a free subscription. We love it and happy to bring these to you as well. So thanks to Voronoi. What we're looking at the moment is, I guess, the divergence of some of the commodities that we think are going to be, I guess, in a greater play moving forward over the next 20 years. What I found quite interesting on this one was a correlation, or what they're doing is they were mapping out oil and copper. So the view here is that the oil, or the demand for oil, will drop by about a third over the next 20 years, which is quite interesting to me. I'm probably not as sympathetic about that view as some other people might be, but copper is going to really accelerate over the next 20 years. So let's just have a look at this. All right, and aptly named, could copper be the next oil? So International Monetary Fund, look, take it with a grain of salt. Those guys, they often have a bit of an agenda going on, but you can see a bit of a trend here on copper. So you can see where it's sort of, copper's really started to come into its own, in the 90s, and the year 2000 has really taken off, and there's been quite a good demand for copper from 2000 up to 2020, and then the projection of 2020 to 2040. That's a big jump. That's a really big jump. And so what's surprising to me is this estimation for oil to go down. Now, I don't believe that we've hit peak oil. I actually reckon there's a lot more oil in the world, and we're going to be blessed as a society, global society, with a lot of oil, and actually a lot of low cost, accessible oil if we choose to use it. One of the things, though, the way the world is changing, though, is that the electrification of almost everything is going to require so much copper that really the copper hasn't even been discovered yet. To actually pull it out of the ground is going to be like pretty hardcore. Much more, much dirtier than coal. Much dirtier than, yes, dirtier than coal, but way dirtier than oil, by the way. But hey, we're not here to judge on which is the cleanest mining commodity. Lithium is probably the dirtiest, with cobalt. Copper, reasonably clean. Coal, super clean. Oil, once the hole's dug, pretty standard, clean as well. But the way the world's going is we're going to have the electrification of everything. Now, I do not just mean vehicles. What I mean is that everything is going to be wired up. It's going to be imagine the internet of everything, plus things that we can't imagine yet that are all going to be battery powered and are going to require a lot of copper. So I'm not just talking about vehicles, although I do believe Elon Musk will buy Uber and make a fleet of driverless Ubers in every capital city. That's what I believe is coming. Watch Uber. What's the price on Uber if there's a dip there? But imagine things. It's all drones. It's all robots. It's anything that is going to be robotically and assisting anything. So copper is required at a level that we haven't really come to kind of get our head around, right? But is copper the new oil? Is there going to be wars fought over the access to copper? Okay, so if you thought there might be some truth in this graph, and you thought that would obviously put the pressure on the price of copper up into a strong direction, then you could probably say, hey, look, as part of the family office, as part of my retirement, I know that I want to have some things that are involved in real steady, real slow, stable kind of commodity style growth, and copper miners could be one of those. So who are we talking about? Look, the copper miners that are the biggest, the Codelco, BHP, Glencore, there's a couple other ones, a couple of smaller ones that also do iron ore that pay really good dividends. Vale, you might see some price on Vale come down. Does this mean that oil producing companies are going to come off? Maybe. I mean, if you look at this graph, you could be forgiven for thinking that there might be some consolidation in that industry coming up, but we're not really focusing on the demise or the reduction of oil usage, what we're looking at here is really the tripling of this. It says 66%. The almost doubling of the required copper to be pulled out of the ground, mined, refined, and put into all the new gadgets that we're going to have in our life. It feels like everyone is going to have maybe a personal robot, or your house will be wired up so your house is a smart house. Now, I don't like the sound of that, to be honest, but I think it's what's going to be pushed on, and a lot of the population will love it. They want a super smart house. They don't want to be going anywhere. They just want to be in their little cocoon of I guess, fantasy and misinformation. They're what they love, right? And so copper is going to play a massive, massive part. Even copper in a lot of military and space exploration as well, which are areas that are actually increasing fairly substantially and exponentially. Right, guys. So look, copper, pretty boring commodity. It's not as sexy as gold and silver, platinum, lithium, and cobalt. But the projections are that there's going to be a lot of boring old copper needed over the next 20 years. And you could probably place part of your portfolio, the part of the portfolio you didn't want to have much volatility, you just wanted to chug along and have a nice return, you could probably put it into the right copper miners if you thought that was where you wanted to be. So, right, guys, look, that's enough from me. Remember, life is a family sport. Give yours an edge. See ya.